Okay.
have it on, so he says he'll give him a nice break in the routine here.
Okay.
You need his number?
Let's see.
Because I got it if you need it.
If you have, just.
Yeah, give me a second here.
I was on a business trip from.
Yeah, what were you doing down in Houston?
Well, I was actually in Miami, and then I had to fly into Houston.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Miami, how was Miami?
It was pretty. It was nice actually. It wasn't too rainy. It wasn't too humid.
Here's his number. It's 415, obviously. 730 81. I'm sorry. Make that 60, 61. Yeah. 415 730 6137. That should get him. That's his cell.
And I wanted to ask you, do you want? I'm getting a couple of hotel things.
Yeah.
I might get like a version of the Vineyard. I don't know if you're interested in that.
Sure.
Okay. It's kind of a nice place.
Hello?
Mr. Vern.
Yes, sir.
It is Edward and Brucey.
What do you say, Vern?
Is it time?
It is time. Are you all set? I got to get myself situated here.
Are you going to be at the Warriors tonight, Vern?
Crowded area.
Vern, are you going to be at the Warriors tonight?
No, because I'm stateside, Bruce. I'm still down here in Santa Clara.
Oh, you're doing some stuff on the Niners. That's right.
We just finished wrapping up a new and interest story that we're airing tomorrow.
Nice.
I mean, nothing that you would be interested in. The soccer Final Four is here.
Oh, really?
Played it.
I didn't know that.
At Avaya Stadium.
Really?
University of North Carolina is one of the teams.
Oh, neat.
And there's two players on the team that are from the Bay Area. One's from Mill Valley, the other one's from Woodside.
Oh, cool.
So I was doing a story on them. Normally the College Cup is played in North Carolina, in a little town called Erie,
Really?
North Carolina.
Huh.
But because of the state's law or policy on the anti-gender, the state's lost a lot of
That's
events.
true. Yeah.
One of which was the NBA All-Star Game. They pulled out.
Yeah, that's right.
And this NCAA Final Four.
Well, I'll tell you what. That just sounds like an interesting story. If you want, let's talk about it a little bit.
Avaya Stadium was available. So they locked on Avaya Stadium, and it just happens to be that in the backyard of these two players that grew up here.
That is a cool
They
story.
played for Carolina.
Let's talk about that a little bit. I'd love. I don't know about Edward, but I'd love to get your thoughts on the Warriors and the Raiders. But let's throw this soccer story in there too. I think that's if you have time to do it.
I mean, you don't have to. I mean,
it sounds interesting.
Every now and then I get a chance to do these kind of stories.
Yeah.
So that was my beat today. I'm going to go back to the newsroom and edit the story, and then my day is done.
Yeah, there you go.
And we are Sports Econ 101, so we'll get a little bit about the economics of giving up a venue like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Edward, how about the economics of baseball with the new rule?
Yeah, I heard about that.
I was just thinking about about the All-Star Game World Series.
Yeah, the All-Star Game, the World Series, the
revenue sharing,
the bargaining agreement.
Yeah.
The season extended by 4 games. 4 days. Give more teams time to
relax.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, part of that. Unfortunately, for the last week, I was out of commission. So
usually with these shows, Edward, you're driving. We're just along for the ride.
Okay.
That's it.
And the thing is, I was in Miami for a business trip.
You were down there when Castro died.
Yeah,
well, that must have been interesting.
Yeah. Well, we didn't really notice it because, in fact, the day we left was when they were going to have the parade, and so we really didn't see.
Oh, they had a parade to celebrate his death.
Yeah.
That's kind of grisly.
When Castro died?
Yeah.
I mean,
there are a lot of anti-Castro Cubans down there.
He died as the 49ers team plane was landing in Miami to play the Dolphins.
Oh, wow. Well, the interesting thing too is
Kaepernick, he just got killed.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I bet.
He said that he was supporting Fidel Castro, but he was supporting a couple of things that Castro stood for.
But
that was
universal health, wasn't it?
Education.
Well, Raul is.
That society is. They just look at one thing and go, oh, well, he's supporting Castro.
Yeah.
And that was
I think Kaepernick has really been unfairly maligned. I really do. I think some of it he has brought it on himself, but sometimes he takes a lot of crap for. It's like, okay, come on, just let the guy do what he wants to do. I just think it's ridiculous.
Well, you're just guilty by association.
Yeah.
It's a no-win situation for Cap. I feel bad for him for that.
It's interesting though. He's a lot more talkative and a lot more interesting to talk to now, from what I can tell. Tell me if I'm wrong. He's now that's another topic we might get into. Let's get into it.
Let's
Here
get
we go.
Well, it's not just that. I mean, he should just be talking about, why he's kneeling. I mean, he gets to a point where he's starting to talk out of school, and then and that's when reporters, some of human descent, they kind of look at him and go, "Wow, man, this guy's an idiot." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he only knows so much,
Wow.
Okay,
All right, here we go. Yeah.
Here we go. Welcome to Sports Econ 101, the show where we discuss sports topics from a business perspective. I'm your host, Edward Brown, along with my co-host, Bruce McGowan, longtime sports radio personality. Today's show is going to be really fun because we have Vern Glenn, who was our co-host for a couple of years on, and he just got so busy he could only come on as a guest once in a while. Isn't that right?
Yeah, well, now we got him. So it's good to have you aboard, Vern.
Hey, man, my blood still tingles when I hear your voices.
Yeah.
The name Sports Econ 101.
There you go. And at each commercial break, you got to stay tuned because we're going to be asking a sports trivia question. And you know what? I think we're going to give away some of those paintball tickets. How's that?
That sounds good.
For the
I don't want them,
email.
but I know some people who do.
Yeah. It's kind of fun, actually.
Yeah.
And today is going to be football. Is going to be our trivia.
Sounds good.
All right.
Yeah.
And
paintball's fun until you get hit.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's not
I
fun
got hit in the face.
Ooh.
Yeah, but I was wearing a mask.
Okay, so it didn't hurt.
It gets welts. I'll
Yeah,
tell you.
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what you do is you got to wear padded clothing. So all these guys, they it's amazing. And I played this 20-something years ago.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is that I had this very, very small inkling because it was a very, very hot, sticky day of what guys in Vietnam went through. Like I said, it's just like one gazillionth of what they went through, but I could somewhat imagine it. Pretty scary.
Not fun.
No. Okay, at each, this segment of Sports Econ.
Which begs the question, why would you want to do it?
Well, because you can have the fun of getting hurt, but maybe not getting hurt.
Oh, okay.
Right?
I see what
and
you're
so
saying.
you don't want to get hit,
Yeah.
but if you do get hit, you're not going to die.
There you go.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it's kind of the best of both worlds.
Sure.
It's like fighting Mike Tyson.
So there's no napalm involved.
No. Thank goodness for that. All right, this segment of Sports Econ 101 is sponsored by Pacific Private Money, providing mortgage investments that are still currently yielding around 8% secured by Bay Area real estate. That would be the San Francisco Bay Area. Nice and solid. Doesn't get any more conservative than that. Please check them out at pacificprivatemoney.com. Don't touch that dial. You're listening to Sports Econ 101. We're going to be right back. All right. So that's our first thing.
We're in it.
Yeah.
We're in the door.
We're in it.
I'll tell you, the waves were so nice out of Muir Beach, Vernon. I just got out about 45 minutes ago. It was so sweet.
Nice.
There were only two
Do you
people.
have a dog, Bruce? Does the dog go like?
Yeah, the dog. I used to take the dog to the beach, take him on hikes. He's 19 now, so he can just do a walk around the block. That's pretty much it. He can't hear. He can barely see, and he moves real slow, but he's still got a lot of spark. He's a great dog. But they get that old, and they just all they want to do is go outside and poop, and then get a little treat, and then take a nap.
Right.
Kind of like the rest of us when we get to be old.
How does Molly deal with that? Is she okay with that?
Well, how's Molly? What's the
Deal with the dog? Is
She
okay
loves
with
the dog. Yeah. My daughter loves the dog. We got a cat too that likes to sleep with the dog. And it's kind of fun to watch because the cat curls up and the dog puts his muzzle right on top of the cat and they sleep together like a couple of
Oh, yeah, get a picture.
Oh, yeah.
Get some pictures, sure.
All right.
All right, here we go.
Oh, and I have a guest suggestion for you.
Hold on.
Edward
I
had
gotta
go.
leave,
And just as he hit go, you started talking.
Okay, go ahead, Vern. What were you saying?
Okay.
I have a guest suggestion for you down the road.
Oh, great.
Oh, okay.
Great. Good idea.
All right, so we got to do our 5 seconds of silence here.
Okay.
All right.
Not easy to do with the three of us.
I know. Well, that's okay. Here we go. Welcome back to Sports Econ 101. Again, I'm Edward Brown, your host, along with Bruce McGowan and our favorite guest. You used to be a co-host with us.
That's right, KPIX Television's Vern Glenn, who is deigned to join us here on a beautiful Thursday as we tape this game. And I got to talk with you, Vern, a little bit about the big story in the Bay Area really this year. There have been a couple of them, actually, but the one that's really intriguing to me is the NFL Oakland Raiders. Nobody figured that this team would be quite this good. You look at some of the ways they've been winning, a lot of close games, so they're not blowing people out. But, man, they're a fun team to watch, and in this era of parity, they may be as good as any team with the exception of maybe New England.
Or the Cowboys.
Or the Cowboys, yeah.
Well, they shot right up to the top 5 in the power ratings in the NFL. Some of rankings have them as high as number 2 behind the Dallas Cowboys. And I was over there in the middle of the week, and I remember Derek Carr going out to the podium, and each week there are more and more microphones at the podium. And he looks down and he goes, wow, more microphones. And I say, well, okay, it comes with the territory. You keep winning. You just wait. You're going to see more of the sports guys out here. You're going to see, the newsies out there that can't pronounce Osimili's last name or something like that. They always screw it up. But the more the merrier for the Raiders. It's about time.
It is about it. It's a lot of fun to watch, too. I mean, they built this team basically around 3 great young players. Amari Cooper, you mentioned Derek Carr and Khalil Mack, but there's a lot more to this team, Brent. You mentioned in just passing Kelechi Olesemi, I believe that's how you pronounce his name, or Oselemi, one of the offense. Osemele, got an unusual name, an offensive line. Their front line on the offense is huge. Donald Penn, Marvin Hudson. I mean, they got some big dudes up front.
Well, they paid Doc Dollar for it. They're the most expensive offensive line in the league, and they are paying big dividends. I mean, they still have the least number of sacks allowed in the National Football League, and they're shimmying on up there. I mean, they're top 10 in rushing. They're top 5 in passing. I mean, everything's going great guns for them to the point where they could just outscore you. Their defense can't stop anybody.
I hope
they got a lot of 1-point victories, a lot of less than 5-point victories, but hey, a win is a win, and here they are, 9-2.
And I hope Derek Carr buys them all Rolex watches.
Yeah, that's
at the end of the year. Who knows?
Yeah.
In fact, he's the odds-on front-running candidate for MVP, if you can believe that.
Wow.
Well, as good as the Raiders have been, the 49ers here in the Bay Area have been, next to the Cleveland Browns, probably the worst team in football. Did we see that one coming, Vern?
Well, I did see it coming, and I think they're going to be down for a long time. It could be, Bruce, it could be 5, maybe 6 years before you start really seeing some leeway, because this is what's going to happen.
Yeah, why is that?
The general manager's probably going to lose his job. The new one will come in, who's inherited a coach. Usually when general managers come in, they want their own guy. So that's probably going to happen. The writing will be on the wall. Chip will leave. Then the new guy will come in, and they'll be starting all over again. Guys will lose the free agency. Other guys will come in. And then you have to slowly build to the draft. That's what Richard Gibby has done these last few years. And you have to hope that when you pick, you guess right. And if you do, then you might get there sooner or later.
So you don't just throw a bunch of...
long time, but there's just way too many holes, Bruce.
So you don't just quickly throw a whole bunch of money at it, with the salary caps and all that, and just try to get trades going on.
Well, isn't it true, Vernon, that also one...
Putting a lot of money around, that's what got the Raiders in trouble
a couple of years ago.
For the tail end of Al Davis's life. His mortgage future is to remain competitive, and it caught up with him.
Well, isn't it also...
In the last couple of years that McKenzie's been able to get rid of some of that debt money and really kind of move in the right direction, go from the red to the black.
I was going to say, though, relating to that, isn't it true that when you start winning, like as the Raiders are winning, they're going to attract more people naturally, whether they throw money at them or not. The players are going to be more prone to go there. And conversely, athletes who are looking for another opportunity can look at the 49ers and go, geez, that place is a mess. Why would I want to go out there? So,
well, it's like colleges, too.
Yeah.
The colleges that get better are going to attract the better talent right out of high school.
Well, unfortunately, right now, as Vernon points out, the 49ers are in the midst of a culture of losing. And, Vernon, that's a tough cycle to break out of. How do you people always say, how do we find the magic of winning? Once you got it, you don't think too much about it. You just keep doing it. How do you break out of the cycle?
What did they do from the 70s when they finally got Bill Walsh and Joe Montana?
Yeah.
Right? Because they were pretty lousy.
Those were the days where there was no salary cap at all.
That's right. You can bring in whoever you wanted.
Different animal now.
Yeah, it is.
Unfortunately, for the Niners, just they kind of brought it all on themselves. And when you got a demonstrative alpha dog coach like Harbaugh, and he wasn't able to do what he wanted to do, and then you just kind of cut bait and just continue to fish. You reap what you sow. Martin told me that a long time ago when he was with Stanford. You reap what you sow. Niners are suffering for it.
Maybe they'll bring Mike Singletary back.
I want winners.
Yeah.
I'll never forget. I don't know if you read that press conference.
He's a good linebackers coach.
Oh my God! But boy, I remember when he threw Vernon Davis off the field. He threw him. I've never heard of that happening on the pro level, even at college level. A coach kicking a player literally off the field, and something that actually was good for Vernon Davis. It actually got his attention. He became a much better player because of it. But
for the audience who may not remember the situation, why did that happen?
He just was not in the game, and I think Vernon was. Were you covering that game that day? I just remember listening to it, and I was astounded.
Yeah, it was a 49er game. It was a home game, and Vernon Davis wasn't into executing the game plan, and he decided he was just going to do his own thing and not follow along. And then as soon as Singletary recognized that, he says, you're just as good to us in the locker room as you're on the field. Why don't you just take a walk? And then Davis was like, really? He goes, yeah. Here's the door. And he started walking off, and then he said, oh, hang on. Singletary went over, grabbed his helmet, and goes, here, take your helmet too. But Vern Davis tells the story later on. He goes, that's really what Bruce is right. That's really what turned his career around.
Yeah.
That's really what got his focus, which got him of the mind of thinking, it's just not about me. It's about team. And he was able to have a productive career.
You know what that reminds me of in baseball, and I think this is actually going back to the 20s or 30s. There was an outfielder who would just kind of jog out there, and as soon as he came in after the inning was over, his manager says, if you don't want to run out there, he goes, I got a bunch of other players who will do it instead. And after that, the guy would always sprint as fast as he could out to the outfield.
Of course. Yeah, no, it's interesting you bring that up, though. That is old school, but sometimes maybe the old school methods might work with some of these kids today. I don't know, to get their attention.
Well, it happened with Bryce Harper. Remember when he came jogging?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's right.
Williams was the manager, and he sat him down.
Yeah.
Very good.
Wow.
We got another minute before we have to cut to a break. When we come back, I do want to talk about how they decided on which I think is really smart. The baseball all-star game should not determine home field for the World Series.
No.
There's no correlation at all.
No.
I get the idea of why they did it, to really make the all-star game kind of mean something.
Yeah, but it only means something to the two teams that get into the World Series. I know nobody knows who's going to be there.
The same kind of silly logic. That's why we have an electoral college system and for running for president.
I told you the whole reason is that nobody wants all of California to decide all politics. That's really what it comes down to.
But we do,
Well, we do because we're here.
Yes, we're here.
And for those of you who don't know, Bruce is the liberal side of the equation, and I'm the conservative side.
You're a conservative, really? I always thought you were kind of a middle of the road guy.
I'm as right can be.
No.
I'm as right as wrong can be.
Oh my God! I like that. That's a good one.
You like that one?
Yeah.
All right.
How do we manage to avoid talking politics then?
Well, because it's a sports show.
That's true.
That's right. Okay. All right. Now we can go. Now we can go to break.
There we go.
All right. So here's our first trivia.
Or as my former program director Bob Agnew used to say, "We're not going anywhere.
That's
Don't
right.
turn the listeners off. We're staying right here."
Well, we're still not going anywhere.
He used to say that to me, and Vern worked for KNBR for a while, radio, and this guy was so intense. You remember Bob when he pointed his finger at you and said, "You got to do it this way."
Oh,
I remember coming into the meeting with a Maxim magazine, going, "This is our audience."
All right, wait, hold on. You tell the rest of that story later. Hold on, we gotta get to this break.
It's always hard spent listening. It was,
Wait, Vern, hold on. I gotta ask this question. We gotta cut the break real fast. Okay.
That's great.
What quarterback led the AFL in passing yards for the 1960s?
Oh, okay.
All right.
Good
Don't
question.
touch that dial. Sports Econ 101. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. We went over a little bit.
Oh my goodness.
That's funny.
all right.
What? No, are you down in San Jose right now, Vern?
I'm in the van, and we're coming up 101 north
Nice.
right now.
Oh, you're driving. I hope you're not behind the wheel.
No. I'm in the passenger.
Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. It doesn't sound like you're in the car.
This Cousins is in operating the live van.
Okay. Doesn't it?
Woodside right now.
It does not sound like you're in a car. It sounds like
No, it sounds
you're.
pretty good.
Sounds like you're just in a in a static place where there's no noise.
And when are you going to get the scooter?
When are you getting the scooter?
A lot has to happen before I get the scooter. Oh, I will tell you this, Edward, the head swim coach at Chapman College has been trying to get cozy with that.
Oh,
Nice, nice.
very good. Yeah, Sarah's having a good time there. She's a sophomore now.
Contacted him. I think they actually talked a couple days ago.
Excellent.
I got my daughter into swimming, and she really is a good little swimmer.
I mean,
Yeah,
have you gone down to Chapman?
No, I haven't visited there.
It's awesome.
Beautiful campus.
It's beautiful.
From the people who have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is just it's such a quaint little town.
Yeah.
The school looks really clean. You know, it's a
beautiful
really
area.
good atmosphere. Yeah.
This is the first year 3 boys that's going to college, right?
Yeah, this is the first one. In fact, we kind of clicked in last night under the deadline.
Mm.
We used to be in the state school.
Oh, there you go.
So yeah, so the private ones like Chapman, a couple others that they're really gonna have to. Those deadlines come later on.
There you go.
Gotcha. Yeah,
Okay.
Sarah's she's a sophomore and she's now in an apartment.
Oh, there
So
you go.
that's worked out pretty
Right.
well. So yeah, no wait, just real quickly, just before we get back, the scooter. So okay, I've got.
Vernon's getting a scooter?
Well, I'm trying to get him to get a scooter.
Oh,
I was trying to talk me into one, and I'm trying to talk the wife
The
into
wife into it. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so get this.
And the laundry list of priorities is at the bottom.
I know, but I'm trying to save them money by getting one, you know?
Yeah.
So on my scooter, I've got 9,200 miles.
Wow.
My car is older than my scooter, and I
Right.
only have 13,500.
Wow.
That's how much I drive that thing.
Well, you live right near.
Yeah, but Edward, you come from the mountaintop down to the office.
Yeah, you only
Well,
have to
no,
drive.
I know,
far.
but the thing is, when I drive, when I take it to Sunnyvale,
Right.
I take it to the Delta.
Really?
Oh yeah. So I mean, that's
what kind of bike is it?
It's
If I
200.
had one though, I would use it just to get Channel 5 because once I get to Channel 5, then I have use of a car.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, that's right. And the thing is, I'll tell you, going in and out of the city, I only take the bike unless it's like
Really?
raining hard. Oh, it's so.
I didn't know you guys were into motorcycling.
Me?
Well, both you
I mean,
and Vern.
Well, I'm trying to get him into it.
Have you ever done much motorcycling, Vern?
No, well, no. Other than for stories, no.
Okay, well, it's not that difficult.
But right now, I've had my seat planted on the Golden Gate Transit number 4 bus.
There you go.
Yeah,
There
we
you go.
don't want Mr. Involvement doing anything with motorcycles.
That's right.
Okay, guys, ready?
Yes.
Here we go.
That was good.
Welcome back to Sports Econ 101. One more time. I'm Edward. I'm Edward Brown, your host, along with Bruce McGowan, and that was Vern Glenn, our co-host. Our co-host guest us. Whatever.
Yeah.
Our guest today.
Former co-host.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, our first trivia question on football was, what quarterback led the AFL in passing yards for the 1960s?
I'm going to guess it had to be either Kemp or Dawson, Lenny Dawson or Jack
we're
Kemp.
talking early 60s?
No, for the whole
Just-
decade.
yeah, because remember, in the late 60s, isn't that when they merged?
It actually merged in 70.
Well,
In
after
70, oh, okay.
the 9th season, yeah.
Yeah, but you're talking about for the entire decade?
Yeah.
I'm going to say either Jack Kemp or Lenny Dawson.
Listen, if you're on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire,
One of
you
those
don't
two.
get two choices.
All right, well, all right, I'll say Jack Kemp.
I'm gonna go. In that case, I'm gonna go Joe Namath.
Actually, it was Jack Kemp.
Yeah, I'd
You
say,
picked
well, because he had 5 or 6 really good years. Namath only had 2 or 3 really good years, and then he flamed out because he had injuries, which was really a shame.
I also thought about John Hadle.
John
Oh,
Hadle,
yeah.
he had a big, strong arm. Interesting thing about Namath,
Chargers, yeah.
yeah, Namath's career total interceptions is actually higher than his career total touchdowns.
Still made it.
He only had a couple of really good years, but he saved his moments for the right time.
Yeah.
That's it.
John Hadle, I remember. Boy, he was actually a very
Very,
good quarterback.
very solid quarterback. Had a
very
great
good
arm.
21.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
That's right,
that.
number
the
20.
Chargers,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's too
Very good
too many.
arm. I remember that.
Yeah.
Well, I thought for some
Lance
reason,
Allworth was his favorite receiver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just, for some
Yeah,
reason, John
Bambi.
Hadle, I keep thinking of him just like in the 70s rather than the 60s.
No, Dan Fouts took over pretty much
Yeah.
in the early 70s for the Chargers. They had some great quarterbacks in San Diego. They just couldn't put any defense together. That was their problem.
Yeah.
So,
Gotcha.
True.
yeah.
Okay, let's just quickly go on to baseball here. So it was recently, they had the collective bargaining, all that kind of junk going on, And they said they decided that the All-Star game will not decide
Right.
World Series home field advantage.
Good idea.
It should be
Excellent
an
idea.
obvious.
Yeah, it should be the best team with the best record.
And is that how they decided it? Because
In the years past, they did. Vern, I don't remember. I guess it wasn't it about 2002 that they decided to make the All-Star game count as the game that decided who had home field advantage in the World
Yeah,
Series.
because that was, it was a couple of games that ended in a tie.
Yeah.
Like, you stay up and watch the whole thing. You don't want a game to end in a tie.
Well, I think it wasn't only that; it was a lot of the players just were sort of
Going through the motions.
Just going through the motions.
Yeah, I covered about 5 All-Star games in the 1990s, and I can tell you they were 90% of the guys out there were just having fun. They weren't really into it.
See, I keep thinking when I think All-Star game, and I think serious. I keep thinking of Ray Fosse getting creamed by Pete Rose.
Ruined his career.
Yeah.
Oh, that was,
He'll tell you to this day that with the 1970 All-Star game, the game-winning run, Rose comes in with that classic head-first, dive, and he hit Fosse up high and dislocated his shoulder. And Fosse's shoulder was never the same. He actually had a decent career.
In fact, he was Ray Fosse at the time. He was the Johnny Bench of the American League.
He was. He was only 24, 25. He'd had 2 really good years. And he had, fair to say that he had 5 or 6 good more years, but unfortunately his career was cut short by that.
I mean, you make the All-Star team, you're good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, some guys only make it once or twice, but he would have made it multiple times, unfortunately.
And did they decide it's just going to be whoever's got the best record?
That's a good question. I wasn't paying attention to the specifics. Vern, do you know if it's? I would think that.
For the new rules.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's whoever holds the best record.
Yeah, that
there
makes
you go.
sense.
And that's what it should be.
The Cubs should have been able to win it at home this last year.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Cleveland was a good team, and Cleveland did not deserve to have home field advantage in the postseason. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
Not for that series.
Exactly.
No. Anyway.
Yeah, it's funny because I remember getting into the All-Star the Pro Bowl for football years ago.
Oh God, talk about a meaningless exhibition game. The NBA All-Star game, all the All-Star games. The thing that made baseball unique in All-Star games, it just seemed like the players up until about 1978 or 79 really cared, and then they just lost interest for a long time. I don't know. That's just my opinion, and I don't know if Vern shares it or you share it.
Well, I understand. Okay, in football, I can kind of understand not playing too hard.
Oh,
no
yeah.
one gets hurt.
Yeah.
For a meaningless game.
Yeah, exactly.
But at baseball, I mean, you're probably not going to get, unless you're a Fosse, you're not going to get hurt. And even in basketball, you're not going to get hurt. And they have a lot of fun, and it's kind of fun watching the offense.
Well, in the old days, the players didn't go after.
In the old days, they used to have 2 All-Star games.
Yeah, that's right.
50s and before that,
good point. They had 2 of them, and also the starters would stay in a lot longer. And Willie Mays told me, he said, we wanted to win those games because we didn't get a chance to play. Most of us didn't get a chance to play in the World Series, so this was our chance to impress the guys, and we both wanted to impress each other. It made the games a lot better.
Well, also, they didn't have interleague play back then.
No, that's another thing I think they should get rid of, or get rid of a lot of it. I mean, who wants to see the Cleveland Indians play the have something like the Texas Rangers are going to be playing the, some team like the San Diego Padres.
Well, actually,
Come on.
I kind of like it because if you're a fan, a lot of times, if you're in San Diego, you don't get to see some Texas Rangers. You don't get to see Cleveland Indians.
I just think it makes the schedules kind of skewed because some teams get to play teams that are of lesser quality in interleague play, and other teams have to play, a division that's the best in.
Yeah, but
I will say this, if I could be semi-serious for a moment. I am glad to see that in our lifetime, Chicago Cubs
Yeah.
a World Series.
Isn't that nice?
Wasn't
that nice?
Wasn't that an article that showed this lady who, she's old enough to
remember the
I
last
don't know
time.
if she remembers.
Well, she couldn't remember.
But no,
yeah.
she was like
The one that actually went.
Yeah.
She went.
She went 45. Yeah.
No, but I mean, she was.
Obviously.
Yeah. You'd have to be about.
She's
80.
like 110.
Well, you'd have to be about 80 years old to remember the last one.
It was like game 3 or something like that. It was a home game. They obviously lost.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And Wrigley Field wasn't even around the last time they won it. Wrigley Field had not been built. Wrigley Field was actually built for a team called the Chicago Whales that played in the American League and later became the White Sox.
There are stadiums that open and have now been closed.
Yeah.
Oh no, a lot of them. Yeah.
A lot of them. Yeah.
I mean, Candlestick Park, for example. But wait a minute, though, the Chicago Whales, they had the Chicago White Sox even in the 1800s.
Well, it must have been a different franchise then. I'm not sure. There were a lot of changes in those days.
The White Stockings.
The White Stockings, who became the Black Sox after the. In terms of, I don't want to get off on a tangent about this, but in terms of good sports movies, Vern, I don't know if you and Edward agree with me on this, but I think that Eight Men
Men
Out
Out.
might have been the best baseball movie at least ever made. What do
Which
you?
one?
8 Men Out. John Sayles' 8 Men Out.
8 Men Out. Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Very good movie.
Yeah, you think about the cast. He had a great cast. Charlie.
I liked it. I liked it because it was based on a true story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've read enough about that period. They didn't exaggerate or change any of the facts. It was very well put together.
And the movie Cobb was good with Tommy Lee
Tommy
Jones.
Lee, Tommy Lee Jones pulled that off.
Yeah.
And I never thought he could because that Ty Cobb was a very complex, very, very tortured man who was, it's interesting with him. He actually, this is the strangest thing about Ty Cobb. He actually sponsored 4 African American kids, paid for their entire colleges. But then when he would encounter somebody of African American descent in front of him, he would treat them like they were, dirt. I mean, it was just.
Why did he sponsor the 4?
I think he had some kind of guilt complex or something. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's a strange dude.
The last time the Cubs were in the World Series, no brothers in the league.
No brothers in the league. That's
right.
2 years later, Jackie Robinson integrated baseball,
Yeah,
1947.
when whoever, I don't think it was Dexter Ballard, but whoever stepped to the plate for this was the first Cub of color to have an at-bat in a World Series.
You know what I thought was so cool about that World Series was when they had the rain out, it was a perfect amount of time that they had to kind of get themselves back together. That was the perfect thing that could have happened to the Cubs. They retreated into their locker room, and Derek Hayward, who was having a terrible time.
Jason Hayward.
Jason Hayward, having a terrible time, in the postseason, gets his guys together and says, hey, guys, let's get out there and win this game. It was a great story. I love those kind of stories. You don't see them too often in sports.
Win one for the Gipper.
Win one for the Gipper. Yeah, they did. That's a great story.
Let's move on for just a minute if we could. Because you were asking Vern beforehand.
Vernon has been covering a story as we speak. Vernon works for one of the local television stations. You were doing an interesting story, Vernon. Tell us a little bit about this story, because it's kind of an unusual story that has all sorts of ramifications and fascinating sidebars to it. The soccer story you're working on?
Well, for the non-traditional sports fan that's listening, working for the local affiliate, you have to cover all the local teams. But aside from that, you stumble onto a couple of human interest stories that you have to address. And this centers around the weekend Final Four soccer for college soccer called the College Cup. And one of the teams involved is the University of North Carolina, which has multinational championships. But there's 2 players on the team who are from the Bay Area. And it so happens that the Final Four is here in the backyard where they grew up playing, but it normally would not be that because the College Cup normally is played in a little town called Cary, North Carolina.
Oh, that's a beautiful area.
But because of the North Carolina laws now that are against folks who have cross-gendered, the NCAA pulled that event out of the state of North Carolina, as did the NBA pull the All-Star game out of North Carolina, and it just happens to be in San Jose. So I was down there doing a story on that team and those 2 individuals who have a chance to win the national title within 40 minutes of where they grew up.
Wow, what a great story. I mean, interesting in the sense that 2 guys getting a chance to play in front of their home folks for all the marbles, but also the fact that this law changed everything, and now who knows where the soccer is going to be played next year.
Yeah, and I guess we have to wait for certain generations to get older and move on and get out of office before the state of Carolina kind of does something about it. But where they can bring those things back. But those events are going to remain out of North Carolina until things change.
All right, stay with us. We're going to cut to a quick commercial break again. All right, talking football here. What quarterback fumbled a record 5 times in 4 Super Bowls? All right, don't touch that dial. Sports Econ 101 is going to be right back.
All right, that's a good one. I think he's been a guest on Sports Econ 101, by the way.
I will not
Fumbled
say.
5 times.
Yeah, I know who the answer is. I won't say the guy's name, but Vern, this guy was a guest of ours when you were co-hosting with us. He lives in Marin County. and he played college ball.
Okay.
Played college ball locally. Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
I did an event one time. He was part of it, and he had a few.
Yeah. It's either
And
him.
we're not talking drinks. Or we are talking drinks.
We're talking
Not a few.
Yeah. Cool. Coolio. That's my daughter now. My daughter comes home with this word coolio, and I haven't heard that word very much. Where do you get that word? She goes, oh, we have all sorts of words, Dad. You got to get with the program, old man.
Yeah, Sarah and her boyfriend taught her words like turtley.
Turtley?
Instead of totally.
My daughter's favorite word right now is majestical, and I said
Majestical.
She goes, that's definitely a 21st century kid's word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Vern, do you have to go, or can you spend any time?
I got about 10 minutes.
Okay.
Perfect. All
Okay,
right.
here we go. Well, welcome back to Sports Econ 101. Edward Brown here, along with Bruce McGowan and our favorite guest, Vern Glenn. Second trivia question. What quarterback fumbled a record 5 times in 4 Super Bowls? Gentlemen, what's the answer?
Well, I was telling Vernon, I think it was a former guest of ours who played at Cal.
I'm going Craig Morton.
Craig Morton, yeah. Either him or Fran Tarkenton. I'll go with Craig Morton.
Neither one of them.
Neither one of them. Who?
You ready?
Who was it?
Yeah, you're not going to believe this.
Not going to believe this?
Roger Staubach.
Roger Staubach?
Yeah.
He only played in 2.
I would not have guessed that.
That's weird, but he only played in 2 Super Bowls and he won both of them. And he still ended up fumbling 5 times? That's crazy. Because he won.
It says 5 times in 4 Super Bowls.
Well,
so.
he actually played. His team played in 4 Super Bowls, but actually he played 3 of them. Craig Morton played in one of those. 1970.
Wow.
Yeah.
But maybe Craig didn't fumble 5.
Well, I thought it was on him. My chest is out proud.
Yeah.
He was 2-1 in Super Bowl wins. He won in 71 over the Dolphins. 77 they beat the Broncos, and then of course the Steelers beat him with Bradshaw. I was at that game because it was a great game. 35-31. There were 4 lead changes. It was an amazing game.
I was a big.
That's the touchdown pass that bounced off of Jackie Smith's chest.
Yeah, exactly. Jackie Smith, who was a 13-year veteran, headed for the Hall of Fame, and that would have put the cherry on the top of his career, and he dropped the pure touchdown.
Was he a Hall of Fame?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's funny. I don't remember.
Yeah, he's known for that.
Yeah, he's known for that. I mean, the ball hit him right in the bread basket, right there, and he just dropped it.
It's like Jim Marshall being known for running the wrong way.
And he was a great player for 14 years.
Yeah.
Nice guy too.
He's a Hall of Famer, isn't he?
I believe he is. Yeah, I believe he is.
So, what do you guys want to cover?
Well, I was curious to get Vernon's thought. I'm going to go out to the Warriors game tonight, Vernon. We knew the Warriors were going to be good. We knew they were going to be one of the best, if not the best team in basketball. They started a little slow, but I've been watching them a lot lately, and they look better maybe than we thought they were going to look. The guy that really has impressed me is Kevin Durant, whose shooting percentage is something ungodly. It's like 57% or something. I mean, he seems to be really at home in this new system.
We got to get him together.
I think Kevin Durant is playing like Kevin Durant does. I mean, it's like he literally peeled off the Oklahoma City uniform, put the Warrior uniform, and just kept on doing what he does.
Yeah.
Maybe Russell Westbrook is doing so well because he wants to also come on over. I mean, he's putting up Oscar Robertson numbers.
Yeah, the thing that amazes me is there was a lot of concern. Okay, you bring Durant in. How is that going to affect the opportunities of shooting for guys like Draymond Green and Klay Thompson? Thompson's number of shots actually has not dropped dramatically, nor has Steph Curry's. Draymond Green's has, but Green has embraced this defensive role. The other night he blocked 2 shots in the final couple of minutes, saved the win. I mean, he is really, you look at statistically, he doesn't put up great numbers, but what he does on the floor, to me, Vern, he kind of sets the tone for that team.
He does. Yeah, he does. And when he's, the thing I like watching about Draymond Green is what he does when he doesn't have the ball.
Mm.
I mean, he's constantly moving. He's directing traffic. He's telling people where to go. I mean, he really is the glue, so to speak, of that team. And I don't want to say they're rudderless because I mean they're just so talented. They can just win in so many different ways. But he definitely makes it go.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to watch them right now, though, because they on any given night they can just explode for something like a 25-3 run, and it seems like of late they do it routinely. I would hate to be a visiting team. I think the Warriors have lost maybe 2 games the last 3 years or something at home. It's ridiculous. I mean, Vern, have you seen a team ever in your years of covering basketball that's this good? Maybe the Bulls.
Not in my lifetime.
Yeah.
You know what I'm waiting for, guys? I'm waiting for Christmas Day. That's good, because here's the Cleveland Cavaliers, and they're like, okay, they keep talking about the Warriors and how great they are. Yeah, you keep talking, but when we meet, I mean, I think the Cleveland Cavaliers fully believe that they have not played a team yet like them.
Yeah.
And I think when that happens, if I'm the Cavaliers, I'm like, okay, you just wait, and we'll see how easy it is with the defense that we play.
The only shame to me of the Cavaliers Warriors, which is becoming a great rivalry, is that 2 years ago when the Warriors won it, Kyrie Irving was hurt. Last year when Cavaliers pulled out that miraculous finish, winning the last three, Draymond Green missed a couple of games, and Steph Curry was certainly not at full strength. So we haven't really seen these two teams at full strength go head to head, and we might see that this year.
And now
I believe to this day, had Draymond Green played Game 5, Warriors would see him.
Oh, no question.
I absolutely 100% believe that, but we'll never know.
Yeah, but now they have Kevin Durant, so that just ups the game that much more.
It's interesting too. I was listening to a local show the other day on the radio, and they were talking to Bob Myers, and people forget Bob Myers is so well respected around the league by the players themselves. He went with Draymond Green to watch that game. Draymond Green was not allowed to be anywhere in the premises of the of the arena when the Warriors were playing Cleveland for Game 5. So he watched next door during an A's game in a luxury box, and Bob Myers sat with him the entire game. I thought that was just great. How often would you see a general manager do that? Have you ever heard of a story like that, Vern?
Well, the smart thing about Bob Myers is that he's a guy that has seen this from both sides. He was an NBA agent, and now he's a general manager. So there's nothing he hasn't seen before. There's no getting by him. He knows all the angles. He knows all the loopholes. He just knows how to handle guys.
Yeah.
And I think anybody with an agent background that jumps to the other side can become one of them, so to speak. If you're smart like him, you know how to play it, and he has.
Can you imagine being a visiting team and suddenly you see Klay Thompson go out? You're great, he's going out. Oh, Sean Livingston's coming in, or David West is coming in.
Yeah, and also those young players they got like Patrick McCaw and Ian Clark and even Kevon Looney. I mean, they've got some good young players. They didn't have that kind of youth on their team, so they may be even better in a couple of years. Who knows? It's a lot of fun though. You cover this team on a semi-regular basis. I know you're covering everything in the Bay Area, but don't you find these guys are some of the nicer people to deal with? Maybe it's because they're winning. How could you not be nice if you're winning every night?
They got good character guys.
Yeah.
Guys can play, but guys who are unselfish. And I believe anybody who is a team, I think they sit it down and say, look, this is how this works.
Yeah.
Now, Andre Iguodala can certainly start anywhere.
Yes, exactly.
But in order to win it all or have a chance to win it all, you have to give up yourself. You're going to have to come off the bench.
Hey, let me ask you, because I know that the Clippers were just doing really well, and they kind of hit a little bit of slump. But I kind of missed, because again, I was away this week for a few days. Doc Rivers just totally lost it, but I didn't find out exactly why.
He was very upset. There was one particular player, I think, that messed up a couple of times. Oh no, that wasn't a team. It was a team.
He was upset with the
team.
Refs.
No, he was. You know what he was? He was upset. His team kept turning the ball over. They turned it over a record number of times, and they did it, I think, 5 times within a couple of minutes. And he got more and more.
He was there to hold him back, though, from yelling at the refs.
Oh, I'm telling you, he was just. Now, Vernon, I may be wrong. Maybe you saw something else. The video I saw of him, it was funny. It was actually kind of humorous. He was getting more and more upset with his team because they kept throwing the ball away. But you may be talking, Edward, about another incident. Doc has always struck me as a pretty even-keeled guy. That sure shocks me. How about you, Vernon? Have you ever dealt with Doc Rivers when he's been kind of?
I think Doc Rivers is smarter than people think.
Yeah.
I think everything he does is calculated. He'll do anything to light a fire under his team.
Interesting.
The Clippers, they've fallen off a little bit. I mean, they used to be kind of a sexy thing to watch, but it's clear that they don't have it to run with the Warriors anymore. And so there's really nobody on there that you really fear. So what the Clippers can do is just the best they can to be one of the next tier of power teams.
Really, you don't fear guys like Chris Paul or Blake Griffin that much, huh?
Andrew Jordan.
No, I think they're good, but for whatever reason, it's in their heads now.
Yeah.
And hey, look, we're just not
in that league.
We're just not that elite of a team anymore. Like at least the way they thought they were.
Yeah.
And then I don't say they've been emasculated by the Warriors and the Cleveland Cavaliers, but they've been beaten down so much that they essentially know their place. I mean, they hate staying your
like the whip dog, stay in your corner.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. You were mentioning about Doc Rivers. Everything is calculated. I can't remember which manager for baseball. Every once in a while, he would go out there and purposely get himself thrown out just to kind of let it.
I think a couple of managers would do that.
Yeah,
I remember Billy Martin used to do that.
A lot of it.
No, but I mean, they specifically tell the umpire. They go, "Listen,
throw me out."
Throw me out.
Yeah. I don't know if the umpires would go along with that. He'd have to say, "Okay, I'll throw you out, but you got to use some profanity." So I can.
Earl Weaver would come out when he was manager of the.
Yeah, that's true.
Screaming at an umpire, I need you to kick me out right now. Pretending to be mad. And
your mother wears army boots.
I'll never forget. I went into the clubhouse this would be like in the mid '80s during Earl's last tenure with the Orioles, and he was standing there stark naked. His hair was going every which way but loose because he'd gotten out of the shower. The little hair he had left, his eyes were glowing. I mean, they were wild. He had this half-eaten piece of chicken in his hand. His mouth was full of chicken, and he's wildly gesticulating with the writers. He goes, and here's how he was swinging the bat. He's like practicing his swing, and he's like standing there, buck naked. Where would you see that today, Vern? You'd never see that today,
especially with women in the locker room.
Yeah, that was something else.
Hey, Vern, thank you so much. I know you got to go because you're on the road.
He's on the go. He's actually on working right now. We're taking time away from his work.
What a guy.
Yeah.
What a guy.
Vernon, thanks so much, man.
All right, buddy.
Thanks for throwing me the vine, as they like to say on another radio station.
All right, man.
Let me swing with you for just a little bit.
You got it.
So I'll end my session by saying what I always used to say on the show. Good night, America.
That's right.
I like it. There you go.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Vernon really one of the good people in our business. You know, it's funny. I've talked to a lot of people who know Vernon over the years, and almost to a man and a woman, anybody who knows Vernon knows there's just not a mean bone in his body, and he absolutely loves what he does. He's one of those people. Some people, they get to a certain point in their career and they just say, I'm going to do it, but I'm not going to put as much enthusiasm into it. Now with Vernon, what you see is what you get. He loves what he does. He's got a high energy, positivity, and that's something you like to see as a broadcaster, because once you start to lose that enthusiasm, Edward, you're not going to last very long. Your career's over, yeah. Look at me. I'm in the twilight of mediocrity here.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. My wife tells me that every night. She goes, twilight of mediocrity. Yeah, you could have been a contender. Instead, you're working in the outskirts of San Francisco. Come on.
But every once in a while, I'll see Vern on TV, and he's always got that energy.
He's got that energy, definitely. You got to have it. It's something that some people are just born with an enthusiasm and a positivity, and I think positivity.
Did you make that word up, or is that one of your daughter's?
I think it's one of my daughter's new words. Majestical is her favorite one that she throws out. I do too. It's very descriptive.
Kind of unicorn-like.
Yeah. Well, she used a word the other day that she used the word prescient. This is an 11-year-old girl.
Prescient?
Prescient, which is being able to see things in the future or kind of predict things. I said,
I've never heard that word.
I said, where did you learn that word? She goes, I just saw it in one of my books. I'm thinking,
there you go.
Oh my God, we've got a little genius on our hands.
Books. I've never been much for reading.
Yeah.
No, just kidding. Like I said, 6 years in high school. That's
get into the habit, and you might actually like it. No.
I read my smartphone.
Just start by reading the contents of your daily juice in the morning.
I like reading the comics because
my daughter loves the comics,
and so do I, because it's not.
Not negative. Nobody dies. Nobody loses a game.
Exactly.
Yeah. Nobody loses.
Depressed.
They don't lose their dog.
It's supposed to be, for laughter. Okay, here's our last trivia question. What NFL team was second to the 49ers in wins during the 1980s?
Good question.
Right? I think you'll know this one.
Okay.
All right. Don't touch that dial. Sports Econ 101. We'll be right back with some closing comments.
Closing comments. All right.
All right. going fast.
Yeah, we're moving along.
All right.
Moving groove. I have time to run over to Trader Joe's and pick up some basics. I have my little routine. I go over there and I just like fly through the aisles. Takes me 10 minutes.
As long as there's not too much
Traffic. At this time of day, yeah,
You get
2:30
these
in the middle
things.
of the day.
Yeah,
there you go.
I love those things.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what that is, right?
Sure. My daughter's into that stuff.
Oh, she does like it?
Yeah,
Good.
very much so.
It's good for her.
Yeah.
She likes sushi in general?
Oh, love sushi.
That's
My wife is the same way. There's Fairfax has one of the best sushi places down in Marin.
Really?
They just opened up one that's really nice, and the prices aren't too bad.
Okay, because
Yeah.
the best sushi place that I've ever been to, and I've been to a fair number of
Japan?
ones. No. Yu Shang, in San Rafael.
Really?
Out of all the places
Ah,
around the
tell my
world
wife.
that I've
Really?
been to
Have to
sushi.
tell my wife. Have you been to Japan before?
No. but I've had
I'd love
I've
to
had
go. That's
sushi,
one city,
like, different
one
ones.
country I would like to visit.
Yeah.
My dad was part of the occupational force there, so he said,
Oh.
unfortunately, it wasn't a lot of fun.
well, not then.
Not
no.
then, no.
No. Nowadays, yeah, Japan. I don't want to go to China.
No,
but
too many people.
well, not
Japan's
like
a lot of people, but Japan you can get away from the people quickly. Everybody's concentrated in the cities.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Hawaii. Hawaii's got one big city, and then everything else is open. Yeah.
Yeah, in fact, the kids are going to go scuba diving
Nice.
when we go to Hawaii after Christmas.
Good deal.
Now, we'll be thinking about you.
Yeah, yeah.
Would you like to watch?
Oh, today was beautiful.
All right, here we go. Welcome back to Sports Econ 101. Last time for today, I'm Edward Brown, your host, along with Bruce McGowan. We had to say goodbye to our friend Vern, but we have this, trivia question. What NFL team was second to the 49ers in wins during the 1980s?
I'm going to say the Washington Redskins.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah, well, they had 3 Super Bowls with 3 different quarterbacks. Doug Williams,
Oh, yeah.
Mark Rippon, and that was
Oh,
in
yeah.
'91, and Williams was in '87,
And Joe Theismann.
and Joe Theismann.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they won all 3 of those Super Bowls.
That's
Won all
right,
3 of
yeah.
them.
Against Denver and against Miami Dolphins.
Miami Dolphins, very good.
And was it...
And Theismann beat, Miami in '82, '87 was Denver, and '91 was the Buffalo Bills.
Buffalo Bills, that's right.
4 straight losses. Can you imagine that going to the
I know.
4 times around and not winning it?
Yeah, and
Minnesota.
the first one, that's the closest one they could have.
Yeah, that's right. Scott Norwood missed a 46-yard field goal.
Barely missed it.
Barely missed it.
Oh, that poor guy. Okay, so we've got some thoughts for the day.
Thoughts for
here.
the day. I like it.
Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
It says here, I used to play sports, then I realized you can buy trophies. Now I'm good at everything.
Sounds like Donald Trump.
I know, Dimitri Martin.
Who the heck is
I
Dimitri
don't
Martin?
know. I thought that was pretty funny.
I love that line, though. That's a great line.
And speaking of trophies, Mary Lou Retton,
Uh-huh.
who we know, she said, a trophy carries dust. Memories last forever.
That's a good point. Very good
I
point.
wonder
I
if she'll
like
give me a trophy, though. I wouldn't mind dusting it.
that.
You can have the
That'd be
memories
kind of
of-
weird. That'd be kind of weird to have somebody else's trophy though in your house. You sort of feel like.
Well, it's
you're-
like what about a Super Bowl ring, right? That belongs
yeah,
to the player?
I don't get that. Why would you want somebody else's trophy? It's almost like robbing somebody's grave. You know, it's kind
Yeah.
of creepy.
I guess, well, Super Bowl rings are worth a lot.
Oh, I know they
diamonds
are,
and stuff.
but it's just the idea of it. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
ugh, it kind of makes my skin crawl.
Well, if you had an Olympic medal from 1912,
I guess that would be interesting to have.
I guess
A Super Bowl ring, though, I wouldn't want. Olympic medal, I'd go for that. Yeah.
So you wouldn't want a Super Bowl
No,
ring,
no, I wouldn't want that. I'd feel creepy.
but an Olympic medal,
Well, because
United States American.
Yeah, because the Olympic medal probably somebody who is now gone, but the Super Bowl
Gotcha.
ring, you know.
Yeah, someone who had to hawk it.
most-
Okay, tune in next week to Sports Econ 101. We're going to be discussing sports topics from a business perspective. And
Giving away more vacations.
Yeah, we're doing the paintball tickets.
There you go, paintball tickets.
All right. Thanks for listening. On behalf of our team, I'm your host, Edward Brown. We'll see you next week.
And as our good friend Vern Glenn says, good night, America.
So long.
All right.
Good.
That's a take.
That's a take.
That's a
All right.
take. All right, I'm going to run over to Trader Joe's, get some food, then go get my daughter, take her to swimming, take her home, take a shower.